Your credit.
I don't think anybody's to my credit. Whatever.
Okay, let's do some learning, right? That's what we came to do. Okay, that's Chelak Aleph, by the way. So it's the wrong Chelak.
Okay. Here's some of the old prints.
Okay. Rabbi Davis, we're doing the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch Chelak Gimel, if you have it.
Okay, Shkoya, thank you. Okay.
It's we're doing Simon Top Pay Test. It's about Sefiras Eimer.
Here's another Gimel.
You have another Gimel? Great. Hi. Come to join the share?
Yeah.
Great.
You're right back.
Okay, sure. Okay. Okay, let's get started. Okay. Have it?
Okay.
Page Taf Chavav. Rabbi Davis, you have it?
I don't have here, but okay. I'll listen. I don't have it here.
Look on
Okay.
Safari.
You can look on, yeah, it's a good idea. You can look on Svaria. Okay. Taf Pay Test. Okay,
We
tonight.
also do, I think, Chabad.org daily text.
Okay, Chabad.org also has it, I'm sure.
There's a
Yeah.
new Torah text. Yeah. Or whatever.
Right.
Section.
Right. Okay. So let's learn about Sefiras Eimer. We're just getting started. We still have a few more weeks. Okay, so the heading is that it talks about the night of Pesach, the second night of Pesach, which that's when we begin Sefiras Eimer, and it talks about Sefiras Eimer. Okay, Aleph. Mitzvah Aseh Min HaTorah is a Mitzvah Aseh Min HaTorah. She's for Kalachim Yisrael Shiva Shavuos Yamim. That every Yid should count 7 weeks. Miyayim Havas Carbon Eimer, from the day when you bring the Carbon Eimer. Shenemar B'Svartam Lachem and Machras HaShabbos, you should count from the next day after Shabbos, which means Pesach, like we'll see. The day after Pesach, Miyayim Aviechem Zema Tnufa. Safer. Where's the starting over here?
Okay.
From the day that you bring the Omer, so you should count Sheva Shabbos Tzmimis Tiyeno. You should count 7 complete Tzmimis, complete weeks. Another pasuk says Vaymer Shiva Shavuos Tisrolach. You should count 7 weeks. Darshan Chacham Tisrolach. So it says you should count. So Yachol Bebezdin K'moi B'Yovel. Maybe counting means you should count in Bezin, that Bezin should count. And just like by Yovel, Yovel is the 50th year, when it's the time of the Beis HaMikdash. It used to be Yovel, when all the Yidden were in Israel. The Sefer and Bezin, who would count the 49 years? Bezdin would count. Shabbat Shabbos is Shanim, and then the Mekachim, Shnas HaChamish Yovel, the 50th year, the Mekadosh would say it's Yovel. All the halachas pertaining to Yovel. So I would think the same thing also would be by Sefiras Eimer, that who has to count Sefiras Eimer? Not every Yid, but Bezdin has to count it. You should count plural. Every Yid has a mitzvah. Every Yid should count. That's so it's different than Yovel. You can't have the justice say, oh, just the people who are down. I mean, they're the ones who are going to count for everyone else, even if they're not here. Or the chazan is going to count for everyone. We don't say that. You can't make a shliach and say, could you count for me? It's not going to help. As long as you didn't hear actually the sfira from your friend. What happens if you did hear the sfira from your friend? Now up to the second paragraph in Aleph. If he himself heard the sfira being counted by his friend, if you had a mind to be Yetze, also your friend had the mind to be Yetze you, so then you're Yetze. Why? Because the rule is the rule is that when you're saying it, is as if I am, and I'm hearing you say it, as if I said it myself. As long as you're hearing from somebody who's mechuyev in the mitzvah, not from a woman or a child, This is the first opinion. Some people argue every person actually has to say it. It's not enough to even hear it from somebody else and have a mind to be Yetza. You have to actually verbalize it with your own mouth. We don't even, it's not enough even to Shemeik Omer, even though for many times we usually say this rule of Shemeik Omer, and we actually hear it, that for hearing it is as if you yourself are saying it over here, argue, and they say you have to actually vocalize it. So every person should actually say the Sefira, should try to be Yetzer, should not rely on the Chazan saying it and being Yetzer from the Chazan saying Sefira Omer. That's when you get the actual Sefira. But the bracha, you're able to hear from the Chazan L'Chatchila. Even though you know how to make the bracha, people doing one mitzvah, one person can bench for everyone, which is then you count right away, right? Generally, we all say the bracha ourselves and we all count ourselves. That's the general minhag. I guess if Leilin was somebody who's not able to vocalize it for whatever reason, so maybe there's an Indian that he should have somebody else. Does just need somebody else next to him, having in mind to be made to him. Let's say Yitzi Horowitz, right? He can't speak, so he can have somebody next to him, and he's has a mind to be Yitzi from him. Fine. Base. What about women and Nashim Avadim Pturim mitzvah? Women are potter from this mitzvah. Right? This is time. It's a mitzvah which is limited according to time. Has a specific time when it's done. The mitzvah is counting the time. In some countries, women accepted upon themselves a mitzvah to say Sefira. There's no chash iser to make a bracha on it, even though they're potter from it, right? So some communities don't. The women don't do it. In Chabad, the minhag is to, but even in Chabad, not every woman gets around to doing it. Just like a lot of other things, just because they're always busy with taking care of a lot of things. And but Meikar Adin, the minhag, I'm saying the minhag. I don't know what the minhag here is in Lapish, what generally people do. But
seems like with Sephardim, it's discouraged for women to come.
Oh, so for sure to say a bracha for Sephardim could be a question, because over here it brings that. Because the difference between Ashkenazim and Sephardim, mitzvah which women are potter from, and mitzvah as my grandma. So many Sephardim follow the opinion that that she cannot make a bracha on mitzvah as my grandma. Ashkenazim say we do say a bracha. A woman could say a bracha on mitzvah as my grandma. So that would be an interesting chiluk between Sephardim and Ashkenazim. But you're saying you heard that even without the count, it's not encouraged. So.
I have a Sephardi Siddur, and that's what it says.
It says a woman don't count. Oh, thank you.
I could show it to you. I mean,
what the Expo one said. Expo also has it.
Yeah.
They mentioned certain things like not saying Kaufman.
So a woman wouldn't bench over lulav and esrog either.
Sephardish woman, but there are also Sephardish opinions which are fine with them making a bracha, but many Sephardim don't. They follow the opinion that you don't. Saying if he's saying Chabad goes out and they offer people to do lulav and esrog. If a Sephardish woman wants to make a bracha, it's okay. She has opinions which to rely on.
Right.
But there are many. Just putting it out there. There are many. How are you?
Good.
There are many opinions which Sephardish woman that they shouldn't make the bracha on any mitzvah as my grandma, which they're potter from.
You see right here, number 5 right there.
Women are not looking at another factor that's prepared. They should not count at all. Woman has a custom out there, but she may not recite any bracha. So if she has a custom, she may not recite any bracha, right? Because that's the general.
Yeah, I saw that one, so I got the impression that it's discouraged for women. I was kind of surprised to see that.
So there's also, I think there's also another thing, because women they don't always daven Ma'ariv every night.
Right.
So the chances of them remembering, unless today's days and age, you could put an alarm. Yeah, and you have it on your phone, it pops up, But for many years, I'm saying it wasn't usual that they would be able to recount the whole thing. So, and he said that's
Make it
okay.
three.
That according to the opinions would say that it's all considered one mitzvah. So then, if she's not gonna be able to finish it in a time, she's not gonna be able to do it. So she shouldn't even start.
With a bracha.
The bracha, right? With the bracha, for sure not, right? So it's different, but it's maked and it's their pater. There are Rishonim which want to say that the famous thing about Sefiras Eimer, so they want to say that maybe Sefiras Eimer is a mitzvah she'ein hazman gerama l'chorabas pshat. They're saying it's not that it's in time; it's the mitzvah is to count the time itself, so it's like higher than the time. or it's connected with the Eimer. It's connected with the mitzvah. It's not connected with the time. It's when they cut the Eimer, but not connected really with like different explanations about this. A lot of lamdas about this. But Lamaisa halacha is their pater, the pturis, but the Ashkenazim hold it's no problem in making a bracha, and there are some Sfardim, which do that, which say that, but generally Sfardim don't make a bracha. That's what they hold. A mitzvah zul in the second part. A mitzvah zul in the heges baris of chutzlaris of neabai shleib of neabai is mitzvah is noyik. It's the first opinion. He says that the mitzvah min haTorah is whether it's in Eretz Yisrael, whether outside Eretz Yisrael, whether in front of the base of Hamikdash, whether whether when the base of Hamikdash is around, or whether after the base of Hamikdash was destroyed. Shalom aleichem. We're just talking about Svardim.
So
Does the wife count Sfira? I shouldn't ask you about. Do Svardim count Sfira? Do you know Svardim is a woman which counts Sfira?
Yeah, my wife counts. She's asking with bracha.
She's Ashkenaz, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
He married Ashkenaz.
Hapiva alehem a mitzvah, so you can do it.
Right,
The same thing.
Right. Okay, so different opinions, Yeah.
Just like what I said.
Yeah. Okay. So the first opinion says that the mitzvah of Eimer is noig after the base of Mikdash is destroyed. It's still min haTorah, which means even though you don't have a Eimer, you're not bringing Shtei Lechem, still it's min haTorah. That's the first opinion. That's the Rambam, the Ravya. Yish Eimrim, some people say, Shaviz man hazesh Eim base of Mikdash kayim. Eim akrivim Eimer. Eim says when heges kam divrei Torah and divrei seifim. Shetikum zeifel Mikdash. The second opinion says, Shalom aleichem. Second opinion says, I still have this. Okay.
Thank you.
Of pay test.
When we go to Safari,
Second opinion says that.
when we go on Safari, does this someday?
Okay, tell them. I don't know. If it's still, the time you have the second opinion says that no, and nowadays it's only midrabanan. Top pay test. And nowadays is Sefiras Eimer is only midrabanan. That's the second opinion. First opinion says that after the base of Mikdash is destroyed, it's still min haTorah. The second opinion says that it's Peskim, the Rishonim, they hold that it is only midrabanan. Why is it only midrabanan? Because today we don't have the Eimer, we don't bring the Eimer, we don't have the Shtei Lechem. So therefore, it's only midrabanan. Why do Chachamim make us do it? Because Zeichel Mikdash. The Zeichel in the Mikdash used to have Sefiras Eimer. It's machlekes and Mechei Nikr. The halacha, the main opinion is that it's only midrabanan nowadays. Only Zeichel Mikdash. We can't Sefira. Nevertheless, it's generally the same format as it is ben haTorah. We're going to explain a few differences, but generally it follows the same format as if it would have been ben haTorah. Okay, Gimel. We're holding Gimel. Sif Gimel. Okay, we got to pay attention a little bit to this over here because Zman. There's an extra one here. You okay? Okay.
No, I just.
Zman hakravas ha'eimer v'tazayim nisan. When did they bring the eimer? Brought the eimer on Tezayim Nisan. First day of Pesach, Tezvav, Tezayim Nisan. The second day of Pesach. This is when they actually were makriv. They actually brought as a korban. They brought the eimer as a korban, right? Shenemem mimachras haShabbos, and if they don't game on after the day after Shabbos, that's when you should wave it and bring the korban. What does it mean, Shabbos? Chacham Makabel, right now, like the Sleikim. Sleikim said it means Mama Shabbos. Shazel Mimachras Yom Tov Rishon Shal Pesach means the day after the first day of Pesach. Right, it's the second day of Pesach. That's number one. Makiv, the Eimer was brought on the second day of Pesach. We start actually counting that day, the day which is after, which is the second day of Pesach, the day after Pesach. Which means if we would have just had the first pasuk, in Machras Shabbos in the Fenor Kamin, Raisa says, Kamin, that's when you're allowed to start counting. How do I know that you actually have to start counting right after Pesach, the day after Pesach? Because he brings another pasuk, or when the sickle, the knife, hits the stalk, that's when you should begin counting. Now we're talking about cutting. You should cut it before you actually bring it. Between cutting and bringing it, that's when you should start counting. Cutting the omer, right? The ksira, and the bringing it, so that's when you should count. Okay, so what we see from here, we see that when you start counting is when you cut it, when you cut the omer. And obviously you have to cut it before you bring the carbon omer, before you bring the barley, right? You have to cut it first. So it comes out that we start counting after counting before you cut it, before you makriv it, before you bring a carbon. Now, the EF shall haskell sida b'yema v'yasa mamash. So you know what? When was the cutting? The cutting we're going to see soon. The cutting was at nighttime, the night before, right? The second night of Pesach. When did they bring the carbon omer? They brought it in the daytime. Oh, so maybe we should start counting in the daytime. Before you makriv it, and it's after the ksira, but during the daytime. How do I know I have to start counting at nighttime, that second night? What? It says the second paragraph of Gimel. You can't actually start counting on the day when you're being makriv it, which is the second day of Pesach, the daytime. The omer is only actually brought to be makriv it only during the daytime. You say, as long as before we makriv the carbon, I could start counting in the morning, that morning before we actually, but it doesn't have to be at nighttime, the night before. How do I know it has to be the night before? We learn this out from Tzmimis. Because the pasuk says it has to be 7 complete weeks. You only find that it's going to be complete 7 weeks if you start counting in the evening time, which means the second night of Pesach. The first day, the Lil Tezayin, on the night of going into Tezayin, the night of Tezayin, before it becomes morning. Okay, so that's how we know we got to start in the evening. We start counting in the evening. And McLeod, that's we are careful because it's mimos, also Shavuos, that we don't daven early. Even those who have the meaning for some Yom Tevim and Shabbos we daven early. But on Shavuos we don't daven early. The night coming into Shavuos we don't daven ma'ariv early. Why don't we daven ma'ariv early? Because it would be a problem of tzmimus. We need to have 49 complete days before Shavuos starts. That's why we don't. If we're going to bring in the day early, so we're taking out a chunk from the day. We're starting Shavuos. We're putting it onto Shavuos. We need to wait until it's finished.
In the midbar, you count over?
So this is the Rand. So he says that the first time they counted wasn't also a mitzvah. It was because they didn't have the omer, right? But he said that they were looking forward to the Matan Torah, that they started counting for the days to. They knew that in 50 days they're going to be Matan Torah, so they started counting. It's like 51 over there, too. But they were counted. They had this idea.
Why we don't daven ma'ariv the last day of Pesach only? Why we have to wait till this month?
Last day Pesach.
And Shlishi Pesach.
And Achlan Pesach.
Pesach. Why we daven ma'ariv in time? Why we ma'ariv early?
Who says I'm saying we never any time we never. I'm saying on Motzei something we're trying not to daven early, right? It's only Shasat Chag. Saying
why the night people daven early? Why?
No, but that's Friday. That's Friday night. You're bringing in Shabbos early, but to take in Shabbos to do Havdalah early.
The supper early. Instead of wait till 7:30, 6 o'clock.
Motzei.
No Motzei.
Shvi going to Akron. Shvi going to Akron.
You mean Erev Shvi? You mean Erev Shvi? You mean Erev Shvi?
Achron Pesach.
Oh, Achron Pesach.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to you want to bring it early because you can't put.
You're not prepared. It's a Chol HaMoed. at night, this year, right?
It's Shvi Shal Pesach, Yom Tov.
I'm saying, the first night of Yom Tov, of the last day of Yom Tov, this
Shvi Shal
year, it came out which day?
It's Wednesday.
So Wednesday night, instead of waiting till Chachamim, Tuesday night, instead of Chachamim.
I was thinking Tuesday night Tuesday was Cholamed.
Yeah, so what?
So you want to bring it to Tuesday? You want to bring it early?
Yeah, Tuesday night. Why didn't we bring it earlier?
So they can't bring it early?
Wait? Yeah. Why?
Well, always wait. The meaning of Chabad is always to wait, but I don't know. The Welt doesn't bring it in early.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's the purpose of it to wait till?
I don't know. Not familiar. I don't know why not. I
think everybody's so busy they don't have the ability.
Why not?
I didn't know people don't bring it in. I'm saying I'm not so. I don't know so much these minhagim, but I'm saying I didn't even know that.
Because you have to eat matzah at night when it's night.
Right. Yeah.
So case you have to.
Right.
But what about
Right.
Pesach?
I hear. I don't know. Good question. I didn't even know that the minhag is that they don't bring it in. I didn't know. I didn't know before.
What's the tmimus over there that's supposed to be tmimus, like a full day?
I don't think that's what's tmimus. I'm saying you're bringing Shabbos early in the
Shabbos,
Sfira.
Here is different.
Yeah.
Shabbos, the mamash bring early and then Kriyat Shema.
But Sfira, Yom Tov and Sfira doesn't clash. I'm saying it's just Shavuos you can't bring in early.
Exactly.
I don't know. He says so too Sfira of all the other days. We also only counted at nighttime because we assume that it's all going to be equal, just like the first time we start counting is the nighttime. So also other nights we also start early. The whole night is kasher. You're allowed to count Sfiras Ha'ema the whole night. At least if you remembered before the morning, you need to. You still need to count. And he said, mitzvah is to count right after Ma'ariv. Now, what's the reason? There are some earlier Pesachim which say there is idea of Timimus on the first night, but Alter Rebbe doesn't bring this reason. Another possible reason is because Zizim Makdim Mitzvahs. There is a Samach Tzedek which says that you don't want to forget. So if you don't do it right away in the beginning, also you won't be able to eat. You shouldn't be able to eat. You shouldn't eat before. And also he says interestingly, he throws in something about chatzos. That you should try to say it before chatzos. Yeah, because you might forget to say it before chatzos. What is the same after this? Because I don't know. But this is by Kriya Shema we say such a thing. Kriya Shema says you have to do it before, right? It's the first Mishnah, right? In Mishnayos. But you can say it after. The interesting thing that and the Rebbe one year in Achron Pesach, the Rebbe said he wants to he has to finish the Fabringim. He wanted to do it before Chatzos in order to be able to say Sefiras before Chatzos. I don't know, but that's the whatever the is not clear. It's just Lila.
Maybe together. Maybe it's not a din.
I don't know. Yeah. Anything which maybe but did they say it right Chatzos? I don't know. But that's brought. Tzedek said I don't know. But where's the Makarim? I didn't do proper research, but I saw that it's not so flash. Right, but he doesn't mention anything about Chatzos.
Right.
But the Samach mentions something like that. He says you should do it. One of the reasons why you should make sure to do it right away. You shouldn't forget. Maybe you might do it after Chatzos, or maybe you might forget B'chlal. But this is there's something to it. I don't know.
Maybe after Chatzos you're going into.
Oh, he says over here on the bottom. They bring him Dalit.
In what is it called? In the Kochavim, right? In every show has something in Shemaim.
Right. You see a Mem Dalit. You don't have it over there. No. He brings from there. Yeah. The Mashal Chatchila Yishlisper Kedem Chatzos Alayla. Chatchila should count before Chatzos. By the way, in the Chassidisha, they do the night of the Seder. They wait until after the Seder to count the Sefiras Ha'ema. They go back to Shul and all minyanim. They go the minyanim and they say it in a minyan. They want to say Sfira with a minyan.
You go after the Seder?
They say after the Seder. This is the minyan.
Go to the Shul after the Seder? After
the Seder, they have everyone. They have like minyan. Everyone's coming at different times, and you wait until you have a minyan and then you say Sfira. Talk about the Peil Hashem. Talk about the Chassidisha. Yeah, they do. This is Dabra Pasha. By the Chassidisha, that's what they do. After Chatzos, whenever they finish, usually it's the first night. I'm saying
but everybody finish different time. Now they can get together.
No, but usually they go to the big shul. Like I was by a visit. Everyone say they're going to shul afterwards. But Alter Rebbe actually brings it. Actually brought an Alter Rebbe siddur. That's above V'seid Hashem. Sapi, like Kabbalah. Above V'seid Hashem should do it. But it wasn't. But to say it wasn't al Tereb. Then afterwards it says, but someone's makdim harei meshubach. Someone's makdim is muktam lebrach. It's net lebrach. Someone's makdim. Say that the Mariel al Tereb's brother is the one who wrote it in the siddur. Al Tereb wasn't happy about it, but he didn't take it out. But he wrote, someone does it earlier is muktam lebrach. Well, the Maisa, that's the meaning of the vel to do. Yeah. Just by the say.
Ik heb een list op in een Meiri aan de dikke schonnet.
Yeah.
En daarna ons. Tomorrow night, first email, or the road minion, 3 a.m.
So now you know why. Now you understand
Pretty crazy, 3 a.m. So,
why.
People are tired after all.
Yeah, but taxation saves the least two.
Yeah.
Especially second.
Obviously, you need to make a bracha before you count. What if you forgot by nighttime to count? Remember the daytime. Should count without a bracha during the daytime. Why? Why should you count? We learned out from before, and it has to be tmimus, and we learned out all the other nights are the same thing. Some people say if it wasn't cut, the aimer was usually cut by nighttime. But if it wasn't cut by nighttime, then you're allowed to they're allowed to do the ksira of the aimer on the daytime.
how do you do Tzir Ba'omer at night when it's dark, there's no light?
They brought light. There was a whole process, a whole thing, what happened over there. They also want to be matzi from the staking, so they would say magol zeh, hein, and they would say they were like a whole thing. Yeah, they brought it wasn't like two people cutting it. The guy in Salem, the Kumen, bleachers, like that by the Rebbe.
Torches.
Purchase they had, but they had a special place. They already had designated already for a long time. Where this is where it's going to be. They're going to get it from.
Sfaradim, Shachrit, before the say Ashrei, after Shmoneh, they say Hayom, and
So it's a nice minute because a lot of people forget, and
I forgot last night, so
you catch up.
they have it all the time.
They're going to see, because if you remember during the daytime, you can continue with the bracha that night.
I think it's nice minute.
Yeah, at least someone after davening, it's nice as a gabi, someone reminds it. It's helpful.
where I daven every morning. The minute the Chazan finished the last Kaddish, he said, Ayom, Chadasal.
If you're always davening with the minyan, then you're good.
In the morning.
But if you daven at home sometimes, then you forget.
After
It happens.
and then the Chazan says, Ayom, this.
Okay, so that's what I guess.
There's some after Eleno, so he runs out the door.
Runs something, runs out the door, or you daven at home, you weren't able to come to shul, so you forget. It happens. Yeah. If you therefore if you forgot and because you're allowed to cut the omer the daytime, so therefore if you forgot, even if you did it on purpose, you're lazy. You say, I'm gonna do it later, you know how it goes. Well, they say Laila and didn't count by the nighttime. Chayiv this Rabbi Yain is still chayiv. Then he's chayiv to count the daytime. Well, this is opinion. There's a certain opinion which says you even make a bracha by the daytime. We don't hold to that person opinion because Ish Chilkum, as other people argue with that. So we're not going to make a bracha during the daytime. If you make if you make the bracha during the daytime or not, if you make it, but we're not going to make it. But you could count to the daytime.
Then you continue.
Yeah, you can continue. It doesn't say it over here, but yeah, you're going to continue with the bracha nighttime. Yeah.
Only if you miss it 24 hours, then you can.
There are some people in the Welt, even if you missed it, they still, but
It's amazing.
not the minute, not Chabad. The Shulchan Aruch, the Alter Rebbe goes like this, but there are people who have such minhagim.
No, you could go to a guy and make a boss, the moitzi.
Yeah, that's you could hear the chazan. Right? Hasvira tzarich levarich b'chlal lechatchila. You could listen. We said in the first sif, you could listen to the chazan making the bracha, saying it. Hasvira tzarich levarich mu'umid. You need to make a bracha. While you're standing, it's not just stamazay because shenem is special drasha. It says bakama, the bahachok chemes bakama when the sickle hits the stalk. He says b'darsha chama tikra bakama the bakema when you're standing.
But the stock is for
darshaning.
Yeah.
Come to drasha.
From the stock you learn it to stand.
This is the drasha chazal. They're but he says it's a smachta. He says it's actually only a smachta. Komokim imanim yushav yatsa v'diavad yistak. Yitzla fisha drasha doing a smachta. Well, it's not a real drasha. It's just a smachta. We're saying from the Torah, but it's something like a tchila we should be doing. We should stand. Also, yeah. Hey, minatera serachlim esayam agam ashvuos. Minatera need to count both days and the weeks. Shenemar tisru chamishim yom. Claim ad chamishim. One pasuk says you should count 50 days yom, up to 50. Ve'im hashiva shavua tisru lach. It says 50 weeks. Sorry, what did I say? Yeah, 7. Thank you. Ketzid, Yisper Shneim. So you should count both of them. Shmagil Shiva Yam, how are you going to do this? When you reach 7 days, Yemer Hayim Shiva Yamim, Shem Shavua Echad. Right? That's what we do. It's 7 days with 1 week. Shmagil Yemer Ba'asar. You should say Yemer. You should say Yemer Ba'asar Yem Shem Shnei Shavuos. Today's 14 days, which is 2 weeks. Chem Shakal Seif Shavuos. So which means at the end of every week. So all he's saying is right now at this point,
You have to say the day and the Shavuot.
right? But only at the end of the week. You don't
Not
mention
every day.
not every day.
We
Right. We actually do every day. This is the first opinion is saying that you count every day the day, and then when you get to 7, you count this is 7 days, which is a week, and then you do 8, 9, 10, and you don't count the week. And when you come, and then we come to 14, we say today's 2 weeks, which is 14 days.
Right.
If you didn't do this, you're not yet. So Vav, but what about the days in between? From 8 till 13, or 15 till 20. Also the days between the weeks, other weeks. Some people say you don't have to mention the weeks, you just mention the days. Right? 8, 9, 10, you don't have to mention the weeks. 8 days, you said just 8 days. You don't have to say it's 1 week with plus 1 day. That's the first opinion. Some people say the opposite, the b'yim ches, on the 8th day, yomer hayim shvur echad b'yim echad. Just say today is 1 week and 1 day. Don't say 8 days. That's what the second opinion is. The opposite. The main thing is the weeks. First one says the days, and we also at the end of the week we mention the week. Also, he says that we mentioned just the main thing is a week, and if you have another day, you say the week and a day. And to 15 days, so 2 weeks and 1 day plus 1 day. That's it. You're not mentioning 15 days. Third opinion, we're involved. Yeah. Some people say you need to say both days and weeks can be which is what we do, right? You
Most
mention
people do that.
right, everyone, right? Everyone I know, but so you have 8 days, which is 1 week and 1 day. And it should not change from that. Okay. What happens if you did, nevertheless, if you did do a mistake? Which means if you counted any of the first 2 ways, that's base Sfiras means from the first 2 opinions. Those 2 opinions would say that the main thing is the days, the main thing is the weeks. There's a b'yam sh'b'emsa shavua, and which means in the middle of the week, you counted either 8, 9, 10, right, or you counted 7 plus 1. So if you did that, in tzarich lachzer release for bisman hazesh, and they say from today, this is one of the things that was said because it's only midrabanan. So therefore, you don't have to go back. After Yamashi Sefiras was Kim Zayim Yadal Chitzabem and Ta, V'leimana Layam Movav Liskra was Klal. Also, some people even what about the days, which are at the end of the week, right? The 7th day, the 14th day. If you just said 7, you just said 14. Since you count the days, if you just say 7, if the whole of Sfira, you just counted days.
You didn't say
Didn't count anything weeks. So you're yet. So the ikid is that if you count days, you're good. However, the opposite is not true. The main thing is counting the days more than the weeks. If you counted only weeks, you just said this is 1 week, and the whole week, every day, you just said that we're still in 1 week, we're still in 1 week, next week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. So then it's still, then you're not yet. So it's not a box of this spirit. What?
Why did you do that? We're on the first day, the first week.
No, yeah, I guess you don't. No, you can say first week. You're going to say first week. No, you have to say Yom Shavua Echad. It's coming, yeah. But once you get the next week, Yom Shavua Sheni, yeah. That's the main svira is counting the days. Why? Because with days you're able to count all 49, right? This is the problem, right? If you're with weeks, you can't do that. You can only count the weeks, but not the days. Some people say Even if you count it as days, you have to go back. So you should count without a bracha. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. That was a long Zayin. What happens if you counted, you said Aleph base. Today's Hayim Aleph, right? In several bases, Aleph base. We're holding Zayin. You counted with the letters Aleph. Shamar Hayim Aleph, today's Aleph. Hayim base, a Gimel. And Yeshem Shiati Chivas, some people say Yetza, Yeshem Shliatzav, Yishlach Devrei Nasas B'Le Bracha. You should repeat again without a bracha. You should say it over again without a bracha. What happens this is very important in Amar Hayoim, because sometimes people ask you what they experience, or sometimes by mistake you say something. So it's very important this point. If you did not say Hayoim today, Elomana Stam Kach Kach Yam Laimer, and you just said this amount of days to Omer. You didn't say today. So he says, let me show you how many days to the Omer. We're 6 days to the Omer. He didn't say today is the 6th day of the Omer. Right? So you can still count, even though you said it. You can still count with a bracha. So you have to count with a bracha. You have to count the actual day. Which you're actually standing at. You should say today is this amount of days. And we're counting time, right? It's one of the biggest things that the Rebbe says. That's we're counting time. The time is precious.
I learned when I was young, if somebody asks you, what's the Omer? Say, it's more. Yesterday was this and this.
Right, you're supposed to say yesterday. But if you forgot and without thinking you said something, as long as you didn't say Hayoim, you're still good. What if you didn't say L'Omer? Today is this amount of days. You didn't say it to L'Omer. So you're still Yetzer.
If somebody asks you English Russian,
So just say yesterday.
why don't you just say 7? It doesn't mean anything.
It's a good.
You say something like,
It's better because you don't want, I guess, to get into maybe any mistakes. So, but also if he's asking you what is today, it might be a bigger issue.
No, the person is usually Danish Russian when they ask you what's tonight.
What if you forget which day?
Just say.
Okay, we're gonna get there. Let's get it. We're gonna get there soon. I'm sorry,
David,
you want to ask something?
Yeah. What if you just don't remember what day it is, and then all of a sudden, all right, you say today is the X day. Oh, I made a mistake. What do you do?
So if you remember right away in the Teichet Dibber, so you could say it. But if it's afterwards, then you got a problem. Then which means you said the wrong thing. So you got to do it again. Okay, but if you didn't say L'Omer, Shemikra Din ain't Tzarech Leimer Klal L'Omer, you're still Yetzer. Because Mikra Din, you don't need to say L'Omer. Al Shanago Kach Levar Yafa B'Sfil Leizer Davar Sefirim. We just say it to be clear about what we're counting to. Ain't Zamakar Klal B'Diyav. It's not Makar at all if you didn't say L'Omer. Hishnegin Leimer Be'Omer. Right? Probably a lot of people say Be'Omer. Chabad says L'Omer, but other Siddurim, what does the Siddur over here there say? It says Be'Omer.
It says L'Omer.
L'Omer?
Yeah.
Okay, so many people say L'Omer. Some people say Be'Omer. We're gonna the ain zam akiv cloud, but the avid zam akiv which way? I'm sorry. Is negel name beim the ain the shabbos nusach. You shouldn't change any nusach. Ishneim the chayin, both of them are proper. Ish negim mitami do lam lamer loimer. Okay, so 1 second. So be'etzim it's better to say. It makes more sense to say be'omer. But lamaisa the nusach is loimer. Now by lag be'omer we say be'omer.
Only like Baum.
Only like Baimer. Rebbe says maybe the explanation is because really you're supposed to say Baimer. Well, since the Nusach is Baimer, anything that has to do with the actual Nusach, we're not going to change. But if something is not an official thing, then we say Baimer. So we also say Baimer. We don't say Lag Baimer.
Yeah, but the actual counting, we say L'Omer.
Baimer.
Nusach Ashka says L'Omer.
Oh, good. Thank you. I was looking for that. Thank you.
Right, but when we count, say L'Omer, but to refer to the day, we say Lag L'Omer.
Right. Some people say Loimer after the days, not after the whole thing. We say it after the whole thing, but especially Pi Kabbalah, they say it that way. Now, what do we do? From from 2 to 10, you say Yamim, Shnei Yamim, and you get to 11, and you start saying Yoim, right? You can say it Yom. Asara Yom. I'm sorry. Not a sort of achadas hayom. First you say the smaller number, then it's the bigger number, right? Hayom. You say echad v'esrim, right? The one before the esrim, right? Okay, the meaning meruba kein echad v'esrim. He said, "Well, esrim echad, not esrim echad." That's the derech to speak. Say it over there. When you speak Hebrew, what do you say?
21.
Esrim echad, right?
That was
about
you
11?
say the big number first.
No, but when you speak Hebrew,
Yeah.
You speak the big number
The
first.
big.
What about 11?
yeah, right.
11 also.
No,
11?
so how are you going to say esrim echad?
Right.
Okay,
Echad.
well,
Esrei.
okay, because like
Only by 11.
12, by the 10, by the teens.
Esrei. Shlosh.
Till 20.
Esrei.
That's what
Right.
he said, 220.
I didn't
Shavua lashon zachar v'chinim shavua echol le'achas lashon zachar say echol le'achas shavua sheni yem sheni v'leishtei shavua shlishi yem shlishi v'shalish v'chein shavua is all lashon zachar. Now you're allowed to count with any language. You want to say it in English? You can say it in English, not a problem. You don't have to say it after lashon kesh v'kayat. If you don't understand, you're going to say if you don't understand Hebrew, you should say it in
Your
English.
language.
It's your language. Mutal this lashon maybe in any
It's
language.
not everything, all the tefillah the same.
No, not
Most
necessarily.
of the
Even a lashon sefer, but I feel a sefer lashon hakedesh. Even if you said it in lashon hakedesh, if you don't understand it, you're not yetzer. The keiman sheni idea meaning it's not called counting. Specifically, you have to do a counting. Right now, you're counting, but you don't know what you're saying. You have to know what you're saying because or else it's not called counting. You're just saying words. Other tefillah, we say in lashon hakedesh,
yeah, but in America, most people daven, they don't know what they daven.
but they're still yetzer. I'm saying,
It's
but
yotze,
for
but
svira, you're not yetzer.
you have to understand. How you have kavanah if you don't understand? What
It's
it's-
better to say if you don't know what you're saying, you should say it in English.
You answer. You speak English.
Why do we say Yiratzin Shibana Beis Hamikdash after Sefiras Eimer? This is going to explain why. Achar Sfira Negin Yidalef. Achar Sfira Negin Lemi Yiratzin Shibana Beis Hamikdash. Actually, Einar Nosef Nosef Mikdash. Now we're only counting a zecher for the Mikdash. We're remembering the Mikdash. The mitzvah is also mitzvah. We're not really doing the mitzvah in Atayra. So mitzvah at least for Leimer. The mitzvah is to count for Leimer. We don't have a Eimer. Actually, Einar Leimer this for Leim. Shacham Tikun this for Zeichel Mikdash. Shacham Masakin Tikun Zeichel Mikdash. Bicham Misfal. We're davening Shibana Beis Hamikdash from Taisus. Mother is the mixture of kind of mitzvah because we should kind of mitzvah properly. And he says, "He shnei time do lahem leim achik mizmer lekim mechaninu mechinu v'anam mechayach b'rin shalaylam I was minik." Right? He's bring that because there's 49 words, right? That we know 49 words in
Each word is
lekim mechaninu, and the 7 also
minutes.
7 psukim besides for the first pasuk and that parak also. It's anam mechayach it's filled in chunei ben akana. And then when you finish Shalom, because it brings a big tara brings a big tara to us. I could continue. I just want to know if
We have exactly 10.
You have
so
exactly
it doesn't
10?
matter.
Okay. Stop there.
Yeah, I could guess.
Now we start all the Ben Hashmashas.
Oh, yes, nice.
Now's the little Ben Hashmashas, but it's very long, so
Yeah.
you're gonna get started here.
Yes, it's in the state.
If you get started over
Wanna come
here,
down to the Almighty with us? Please. Thank you.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, shkayach to everyone.
I went to
We
Bet Torah.
we
they-